All right, can you hear me all right? Okay.
There you go.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Susan, and I'm here to talk about unleashing possibilities with open space. Just want a quick show of hands. Who has experienced open space before? Who's done lean coffee? Who's babysat for a newborn? All right. So hopefully by the end, over the next 5-10 minutes, you'll figure out what all these things have in common. But if you're also wondering, maybe just to start, who is this person standing in front of you or on screen? This is me, a little bit about my history. I grew up in Michigan, go Blue, go Lions, go Red Wings. Now I'm here in Portland with a couple dogs and a van. My history, I've been in tech for a while. It may not look that way, which maybe is a good thing, but also not so good in other ways. But back in the day, I did write code. And my first book was Programming in C by Brian Kerrigan, if anybody knows, was part of that time. But it was after the punch cards. I never did punch cards. But now I'm what I say, a facilitacoach. I do facilitation, I do coaching, especially around social entrepreneurship. I'm really at the end of the day looking at what is the future of foundership, the future of leadership, especially in tech, and especially leading with purpose. So that's me. So now I just want you to take a moment, wondering who recognizes the scene. Just imagine that you've been invited to Iceland for their annual Airways Festival, which happens in November. A little cold, but it's pretty awesome. It's for 3 days. Just imagine you're surrounded by music everywhere. You can be outside, you can be inside in the church, you can be in the record store, you might be shopping for groceries. There's music everywhere for 3 days. And for 3 days, you wander the town. You move wherever the music draws you in. You might be turned down an alley, start hearing some drums, and you're like, ooh, what's that? You pop your head in. You get a little tired, you go home, and also you take rests for maybe ramen and maybe some cat watching, wherever you desire.
So ramen in Iceland.
Yes, this side note, if you ever go to Iceland, go to Ramen Momo, best ramen ever. All handmade noodles, everything. So I invite you to take this journey with me because for me, this is what open space is like. It's the idea of having these various spaces where you move where you want to go. It's a way of convening on a core theme, perhaps the future is now, where you have self-agency to move in whatever circles and conversations that you want to be in. And this is a quote, these images here are taken from Devoted and Disgruntled. It's a UK organization focused on theater, and every year they convene on the simple question of what is theater? And this is a quote from their website. They convene using open space. Since 2006, we've been using a process called open space technology to facilitate these gatherings, where everyone's voice can be heard and no topic is censored. There are no keynote speakers, I would not exist there, and no fixed agenda. You decide what gets worked on at the event. And I share this because, and it's interesting because I didn't know what anyone else was going to speak about, but you might sense there are some themes here around learning, adapting, thinking about multiple possibilities, what else could be possible. So with that, you might be thinking, okay, so really, how does this work? How do you actually turn intention into action by way of not having anything organized? Well, if you were to hold an open space, I would say the two main ingredients that you need is a strong theme, again, perhaps the future is now, and a space to convene. That's it. At the end of the day, that's all you need. It would be nice to have a shared wall, so you can do this online or in person, where a shared wall where you can see all the topics, a way to keep time. And I won't go into the details about this, but I mean, if there are questions, happy to answer them. The time when you think about, oh, you can go wherever you want to go, is merely to to have a start time for people to commit to, hey, we're going to meet at this time on this topic. But in terms of how long that conversation lasts, it's really up to the people in the room. And the general flow for open space is usually an opening circle where you invite people to join. You talk about the 5 core principles. I'll kind of go through this in a moment. There's a marketplace. The marketplace is where when I say there's no fixed agenda, the marketplace is a time where people take a moment to reflect on the theme. You think about what topics are resonating with you. Maybe there's a question you seek to answer, a problem you seek to solve, and you write it down. And you simply raise your sticky and say, hey, I'm Susan. I'm here because I care about this. And you timetable that topic. You might say, maybe it's a 5-hour conference, and similar to the Iceland Airways, you're only maybe free for the first hour because you've got to babysit a newborn in the afternoon. So you say, hey, I want to talk about this topic at 9:30, and you put it on the wall. And that's it. And then we have the sessions, and then there's a closing. And that's the general structure for open space. So the key to open space, when we think about even the topics around like psychological safety, what is it like? How do you actually facilitate making sure that anyone can be heard and seen? At the end of the day, open space consists of these 5 core principles and the law of mobility. Whenever it starts is the right time. Wherever it happens is the right place. So sometimes, I'm going to call this out, it's one of my favorites. The conversation that really hits you, that really resonates you, is not what happens in the room. It could be at the water cooler. It could be as you're just walking down a hallway and you see someone that you haven't seen in a couple of years, and a conversation strikes up. And in that 1 second, a serendipity, a light bulb kind of goes off. So that's wherever it happens is the right place. Whoever comes are the right people. Whatever happens is the only thing that could have, and prepare to be surprised. It's not there, but that's kind of the corollary to that. And whenever it's over, it's over. And finally, the law of mobility, which is if you find yourself where you can't learn or contribute, then move yourself to a place where you can. So what that means is at this very moment, if you're thinking, all right, I've had enough, I need to rest, it's okay to stand up and leave the room. It's okay to jump off the Zoom room without apologizing or explaining. You can pop in, you can be the butterfly that actually just peeks your head in, looks, and then jumps out. No explanation needed. That's the law of mobility. So with that, if you're curious to learn more about how this works, you go to this QR code, you can go to bit.ly.com/OST. I'm on the board of the Open Space Institute US. It's a nonprofit organization that hosts open space. We're connected with the founder of Open Space. I didn't give all the history here, but if you want to learn more about it, you can go there. I'm also happy to answer any questions. And with that, I'm going to leave you with a very brief checkout, which is I encourage you to think about what does the future of quality look like to you? What do you desire it to be? And if there was a word that described that ideal state to you, or a few words, take a moment to jot it down, because you never know, there might be an opportunity to convene or to invite people to converse with you on that particular topic. And that might happen sooner than later. All right, thank you.